Here we go, folks. We about to get it in. What is going on, everybody? Hey, I'm your boy JC from JC Sports Talk, and I have a special guest with me, Jay Tuck from CFO Sports. You know what I mean? Thank you for joining the show, man. What is going on, my guy?
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, my guy. Long time no see, but hey, Eagles Nation, Cowboys Nation, y'all know what time it is.
Oh, no, not hey, man. What is that? I think it's the Cowboys walking into Philly. I think it's the Cowboys walking into Philly about to get stomped.
Nah, man. Y'all gonna walk out to Meek Mill, man. This is where we gonna hit the button just like that. Now begins, man. What's going on, my guy?
I promise you, it's definitely not going to be like that. I feel like whenever the better team, like whoever had the better team, usually wins. Like no shade, no lot, no nothing. I feel like every time Cowboys versus Eagles, whoever had the better team wins. Whoever had the better quarterback wins. But we definitely gonna get into that. But before we get started, man, hey, we definitely have to go over this injury report. This is the Philadelphia Eagles injury report right here. I mean, right now we are looking pretty, Carter, he's back. I know a lot of y'all Cowboy fans was hoping that he wouldn't play, but guess what? He's full practice. Jordan Davis full. I mean, Sua. I actually want.
Is Sua going to be the starter, or is it going to be Tyler?
Who? Nah, see, I think it might be Tyler. I definitely think it might be Tyler, but who knows, man? But a Milton Williams. But the big thing is, Cam Jurgens, that's all right because he was our right guard. But guess what? Hey, look, if Tyler is ready to go, put him in. Grant, he may not be playing at all, but James Bradbury, though, man, that might be bigger than we think. Woo! So it's going to be dicey. That's one thing I know for sure, that this injury report got me a little bit nervous. But limited practice don't mean no practice. You still have a shot to play, but we just have to see how tomorrow and Sunday morning goes. So what is going on the Dallas side of things?
Yeah, from the Dallas side of things, everything is good except Tyler Smith and Chuma Edoga, which is our two left tackles. So I just read online they're questionable for Sunday's game. More than likely, I think they're going to give it a go. For Tyron Smith, it's been like a neck stinger. So not sure, what it's really going to be involved, but he didn't play last week. And then you had Chuma Edoga go down last week with the ankle injury, but he's kind of been, active in practice. So if I had to give my best bet, I think they're going to play on Sunday. But if not, then it gets kind of spooky, right? Because, you have an unproven guy in Awesome Richards, who was a, draft pick, a rookie, out there trying to play left tackle versus Philadelphia, front seven is not the best situation to be in. So, Tyron, if you're watching, you got to play, bro. You got to play. You can rest next week. You can rest next week versus, the Giants. But this week, you got to be out there and give it a go, which I think you will.
Hey, oh, man, Tyron Smith, man.
Tyron PTO Smith, man.
It's like part-time, like, man, if he plays, I'm like, do I want him to play or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that y'all better off without him playing. I literally thought that y'all was going to draft his replacement every year after year. He's hurt. No matter how the offseason is going, oh, Tyron Smith is good. Mm-hmm. He slimmed down 500 pounds.
Right.
Hurt. Like hamstring, shoulder, like knee, something's always wrong with him, man. I personally think that he might be done after this year.
I mean, we always say that, right? But then the Cowboys come back foolishly and give him a new deal, so it's like, I don't know, because when he's healthy, he's perfectly fine. But, I think the biggest question mark for a lot of Cowboys fans, self-included, when I try to warn Cowboys fans about this, is that last year we drafted Tyler Smith, who played well at left tackle when we kicked him out. But for some reason, Tyler has just been the left guard. There's been no cross training and no talks about him playing left tackle. So it seems like he's going to be left guard in the future. So that's why a lot of Cowboys fans are kind of scratching their head, where it's like, okay, why didn't we go get a left tackle? Now, I'm not sure if you saw the draft videos when it came down to Mozzie Smith and Matthew Bergeron, the left tackle. That was the back and forth between the Cowboys. They went with Mozzie Smith, but then
who did y'all want?
Well, it was Matthew Bergeron. That's who they were talking about. Me personally, I would have went with Nolan Smith or Joey Porter Jr. That went to Pittsburgh, right? Those would have been my two picks. But they were thinking about the tackle. So it's like, okay, you didn't draft the tackle, then you avoided drafting one in the second round, didn't get one in the third round. You didn't dress it till I think the fourth or fifth round with Awesome Richards. So it really left the void as far as the backup tackle position. So we got some guys, Matt Let's-Go, Chima Udoga, like it's just So, Tyron's going to have to give it a go, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, he's your left tackle, right? So Josh Sweat over there, Josh Sweat is having a good season, man. And right now, he's one of the top edge rushers in the league, him and Reddick together. So I mean, how you like that matchup, though? Especially if Tyron is iffy. I mean, do you think that's a good matchup? Or would you rather see a healthy who'd y'all back up to a Tyron?
So our backup would be Chima Udoga. And honestly, he didn't play too well last week. I mean, out the gate, he was already giving up pressure. And even then on the touchdown that we got to Brandon Cooks, like they're able to get around and bend the hoop on Chima Udoga. So, overall, when it comes to our offensive line versus your defensive front, let's just say that we're healthy, right? Tyron's going to give it a go. I still think we'll be okay, right? But it's the big plays, the big game changer. That's what Philly defense is really known for, where it's like, okay, you've been holding up all game, but all of a sudden there's the strip sack, the strip fumble. You guys get it and change the momentum. So that's what you really got to eliminate. But this year, I'm a little bit more confident when it comes to the pressure because Dak Prescott is starting to use his legs a little bit more, get outside the pocket. So that can ultimately help things. But when you think about, the Cowboys from the standpoint, we don't have Ezekiel Elliott back there. So you got Tony Pollard. So it's like, it's a little bit different when it comes to protection, when it comes to the Cowboys. And thus far, offensively, our offensive line just hasn't looked like the strong point. It just hasn't gelled yet, which is surprisingly because we were all excited about finally getting our best five out there. When we got our best five out there, it still didn't look good. So it's going to be interesting to see. Can our offensive line, hold up versus your defensive front? But they're absolutely going to have to, not just on the left side, but also on the right side when it comes to, Terrence Steele. But I think we'll be perfectly fine, though. Comes to scheme.
Don't you find it funny that like both the Eagles and Cowboys were top 3 last year in red zone offense, like just scoring, and now this year, we're like in the bottom 10,
right? Both of us
scoring. Like Miles Sanders, he's gone. Zeke is gone. Our OC is gone. Like your OC is gone. Mm-hmm. So just like now, we kind of like we went from top 3 scoring red zone offense to bottom 10 scoring offenses. Like, I mean, I think that we both need to go back to the running game, like the prior running game. Like Miles Sanders, even though we got down there with Jalen Hurts and stuff like that. But Miles Sanders had 13 rushing touchdowns.
Right.
13 rushing touchdowns.
Right.
And I feel like that Shane Steichen was definitely calling a better offensive game than Brian Johnson is calling right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Zeke is missing. But when y'all got down to that red zone,
that was Zeke time.
Was in the game. Like, he was the bell cow. So I feel like on both sides that both teams kind of underestimate like who to let go, or the play calling. Like, is it who to let go or the play calling change once they get down in the red zone?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think when it comes down to both of us, bro, I think it's just offensive identity. Like, we really don't know who we are offensively, and we really don't know who y'all are offensively. You just do a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's what it has to get back to, because last year you knew the Philadelphia Eagles going to run the ball. They're going to get to the RPO. They're going to do things, like we just kind of knew what Shane Steichen's focus was when he was the offensive coordinator in Philly. And so it's my brother, man. It's my brother, man. He's a Steelers fan. He don't know that better. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, with Shane Steichen, what he's doing also in Indianapolis. That's why he went out and got, Anthony Richardson to kind of run that same philosophy. So I feel like from the Cowboys standpoint, we just don't know who we are. And the hardest part about it is that our games have been so up and down, where it's either blowing out or we're getting blown out. You know what I'm saying? So like earlier on, like the Giants game and the Jets game, like there wasn't really a lot of areas where we can really work on things with offensively, and we didn't, of course, play our starters in preseason. So I think with this Mike McCarthy's offense, it's still a work in progress. We're still kind of building it. But as far as just like the power run game, we don't know. I done made tons of videos about it. Like we have Hunter Luepke and Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. They don't get the ball, so it's just like I just don't know where the Cowboys are trying to go from an offensive standpoint as far as the philosophy is concerned. But it's been troubling in the game like this, with a team we're playing like this that can still score points. They can still put up points. It's not in the red zone. You're going to have to get in the end zone. Just walking away with field goals isn't going to be enough.
Yeah, and I really feel the same way. Look, right now the Philadelphia Eagles identity on offense, I don't know. I literally don't know. Like we was on fire. We were rushing the ball. DeAndre Swift. I mean, this dude was the number 2 rushing leader in the league. And in the past couple of weeks, we didn't even get over 100 yards with him.
Right.
Like, so we kind of like shift to just throwing the ball. So I don't know. Is it just based on the matchup or what? Because last week, maybe the commander was like, hey, let Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm. And he literally did that. So I don't really know the offensive identity for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know who Brian Johnson is. I don't know. I mean, that's my honest truth. I don't know. Like the defensive coordinator, I don't know whose identity is either, because the Philadelphia Eagles has literally been banged up. Probably one of the most banged up team in the secondary in the NFL. Like, I mean, did you know that this Sunday will be the first time since the season started, back-to-back weeks, we have our whole team, our whole defense intact, complete. Our whole secondary, that's the second time playing together since the season started. So it's just like who Sean Desai is, who Brian Johnson, I don't know. But we just got to get through this week, get through this game, get through this win, and then go in the bye and just say, look, who are we? What do we really want to do? Who are we a power running game team? Are we a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown throwing team? Like, are we, a Jonathan Gannon bend on break defense? Are we more aggressive? We don't know. So there's a lot of unanswered questions. But the thing is, the Eagles keep winning. And that's the beauty of it. So all right, y'all been winning based on turnovers. You know what I mean? Like the games that y'all don't get a turnover, y'all 0-2. Every other game, y'all had at least one turnover, y'all have won the game. So do you think that is sustainable throughout the year? Like literally, if y'all don't get a turnover, y'all don't win. If y'all get a turnover, y'all win. So if y'all get a turnover against Philly, y'all winning the game.
Right.
If y'all don't, then y'all losing the game just based on this year alone.
Nah, I mean, I think turnover margin is always important, right? That's the secret sauce, right? I think I did a video 2 years ago saying, like, if you look at all the playoff teams, the turnover margin, that's going to let you know if you're a playoff caliber team or not, right? But I feel like if you go back to what the San Francisco 49ers did to us, we just got beat in all 3 phases of the game. So it wasn't like, a turnover would have made a difference. I mean, maybe it would have made the score difference from a coverage or betting standpoint.
I mean, what offense did have the ball too? So, I mean, it kind of like...
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got beat on all 3 phases, right? So we didn't get pressure. Like Brock Purdy's jersey was completely clean. There was no turnovers, right? And then offensively, we couldn't move the ball. Like everybody was getting bagged up. The play calling was bad. Like everything was bad. All 3 phases of football. I think we came out and played too tight. And when we go back to the Cardinals game, like honestly, I think the Cardinals game, we really could have won it. We just kind of tightened up a little bit. And I think honestly, we were trying to figure out what was life without Trayvon. We were trying to figure out what was life without Trayvon. But also the one thing that Josh Dobbs did, they gashed us on the ground, the running game. So the running game protect them from having to pass and possibly put the ball in harm's way. So, I don't think that, if we can't get a turnover, we're not going to win a game or we're just not as good. I just think that, hey, there's a lot of different things that the Cowboys had to clean up in our 2 losses. And I think they cleaned it up, but we'll see on Sunday, because the Rams, honestly, I thought they're going to be a much better opponent, but we came out guns blazing and we clicked on all 3 phases. But I think last week we saw the power of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, oh, maybe we did we get a turnover versus the 49ers? I don't remember. That game's a blur, bro.
I don't even remember.
I was trying to remember.
Who?
Hey, maybe we did. I'm trying to remember. I don't know, man. I was just trying to curl up and protect my vitals, man. The way the 49ers was kicking us, man, I just covered up into a ball. You know what I'm saying? Try to get up. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, overall, like last week, we saw what can happen if the Dallas Cowboys are clicking offensively, defensively, and also on special teams. Like, I feel like we're one of the most explosive teams in the NFL. But can you do that on a consistent basis is what we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Now I'm trying to remember the turnover versus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. Maybe it was on special teams or something, like the 49ers fumble on special teams, because I don't remember Brock Purdy throwing an interception.
Now, Brock Purdy was clean. No fumble from McCaffrey.
So it might have been a special teams. Like, I don't know. But look, I do agree. So have y'all fixed your run issue problems that y'all had? I mean, because not a lot of teams could run like the way the Philadelphia Eagles can run if they are really, that's the game plan. Let's run against the Cowboys. I mean, that would be my game plan, to keep Dak on the sideline and run against y'all. Have y'all fixed that issue, or has it been masked? I'm just based on your team y'all been playing.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I mean, ultimately, since the Chargers, or not the Chargers game, but since the Cardinals game, our running defense has been a lot better. But where the Eagles really test us is not just with the running back, it's with their running quarterback, right? Because those yards count too. So you really have to account for that. And I just fully expect, even though I did my film breakdown and you guys passed heavily versus Washington, I think you're going to come out and really try to run the ball, like you said, and test our run defense, and we have to earn the right to pass rush. So, I can't say yes or no. Now, overall, from a schematic standpoint, it has improved, containing outside, especially in the interior. Like, a lot of our runs that we give up has been to the outside, not in the teeth of our defense between the tackles. But, overall, I don't know, because we can stop Swift, you can stop Gainwell, but if Hurts rushes for 100 yards, it's the same thing as if it was, to Swift. So, that's the one thing that remains to be unseen, like, because I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, you're one of the most balanced teams, not just who we're going to face, but in the NFL, with the passing attack with AJ Brown and Smitty and Goddard. But you also can definitely run the ball as well and get yards on the ground. I think you're 7th in both overall. So for me, it's just Brian Johnson. You're the weak link. I hope Brian Johnson just glitches out, you know what I'm saying, and wants to get cute and put on an air attack and just sits back and drops back and pass 40 times, 45 times, and I'll take it from there. But, to be answer your question, bro, I just don't know at this point. It still remains to be unseen.
Yeah, so the Eagles are 7th in passing, 7th in rushing, 3rd in points, and then points against 19th, right? And the Cowboys are 16th in passing, 11th in rushing yards, 2nd in point by like a 0.2, literally 28.3, 28.1, and then 4th against points against. So my question is this: how good are the Cowboys? Like how far could they go? Like, how good are they really?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the NFC, I feel like we're good enough to go to the Super Bowl. I feel like the NFC is wide open. I feel like right now it's San Francisco, there's the Eagles, there's Dallas. I mean, you got Detroit, and then you probably can toss in Seattle into that mix, right? But overall, I think it's going to Seattle. Yeah, I think it's going to be, an open market when we get to the playoffs. Now, it's hard to say in week 9 because we got a long road, and we know one injury can change everything. I mean, hell, when Trayvon Diggs went down, I almost felt sick and threw up, right? Because
that's one guy. Our whole secondary.
Yeah, but I mean that is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that changes everything. Where it's like, okay, yes, the Eagles have AJ Brown, but I don't have to worry. Trayvon got it. Like, it's one of those types of things. And now we're getting to think of our schedule. We got some killers out there. We got AJ Brown and Smitty. We got, Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like, we got some killers coming up. Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? So, that's where I'm really curious to see what there comes to our secondary. So, but as things stand right now, yeah, absolutely. I feel like we have more than enough to compete for a Super Bowl. It's just making sure that we're playing our best football at the right time, which that's going to be for any NFL team.
But if okay, let's just say if y'all would go to the Super Bowl,
Mhm,
who would be the difference maker? Is it Mike McCarthy? Is it Dak Prescott, showing up in big moments? Is it
mhm.
like who would like have to be the guy that take y'all to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it would have to be Dak Prescott by far. This team is built on Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott's not playing well, we don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be built behind Dak Prescott. And I just think that what we're seeing right now is that, originally with this new offense and Mike McCarthy, they kind of nerfed Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like he was very simple, very vanilla. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing a lot of pre-snap adjustments, which just line up, like it was just like, okay, like I get what you're trying to do because all the interception talk and everything was kind of going on. And I think finally after that 49ers loss, Mike McCarthy said, okay, you got it, bro. Go do your thing. And that's why you're hearing the here we go and the adjustments in the line. It's like he's letting Dak be Dak and fully take command of this offense. And I think that's why you're seeing the uptick offensively. So, yeah, if we're going to win it and go to where we're trying to go, I think it relies on Dak Prescott, to be honest with you. Now, I think that might be the difference between us, right? I feel like Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be the Jalen Hurts of last year for the Eagles to be successful, but I feel like Dak Prescott can't have a mediocre season and this Dallas Cowboys team still get to a championship, especially with the absence of Trayvon Diggs and some of the things that we're facing defensively.
But see, I don't think that's all true because this year your Jalen Hurts is on pace for his best season ever through the air. Like our defense, like look, you watch our defense,
Right.
you chicken back there, man. Like because of all the like the injuries and stuff like that. Bradbury was out one game, Slade is out one game. Our nickel corner is out for the whole season, and our linebackers, our safety, Blankenship with some ribs. Right. God damn it, where's some rib protection? Like,
right. But what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is playing decent, not like last year. But the real uptick that you guys are getting is AJ Brown's is going crazy right now.
But who's throwing him the ball though?
But some of those plays are 50-50 balls. That's a lot of them, like that one-handed catch versus Washington. That was AJ going to get that. Like,
yeah, but that was perfect position though. Like only AJ could get the ball.
But there's been numerous ones. There's also one that D. Smitty caught as well, where he go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so your playmakers are making plays, and I feel like you still got Swift, right? So you have a running game. Like you have different things you can lean on. You can win games with your offensive line, where Jalen doesn't have to be at 100%. He can have just a mediocre game, and you guys can still win. I feel like you can. Versus Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott's not clicking, I don't see how we win games. Not yet. Now, hopefully we get to a place where, all right, Tony Pollard got this. Like if Dak is not clicking, we can give Tony Pollard the ball and just let him run and do his thing. But as of right now, we haven't showcased that we can with the run game either. So it's pretty much Dak or die when it comes to our offense.
Yeah, but look, only because now last year I would agree. Like, man, our defense was like on pace for historic sack pace and all that.
Right.
Pick sixes, Chauncey Gardner just born out of his mind. But this year, I feel like if we did not have Jalen Hurts, have an average quarterback, we'd probably be like 3-4, 4-3, like 4-4, whatever it is. But right. Jalen Hurts has thrown us to victory this year. Literally, we've been down double digits at least 3-4 times this year. And he literally brought us back. So this year he's playing on a different level. Yes, the interceptions are up, the turnovers are up, but it's just because that he's staying in the pocket more and trying to throw against the Jets game, right? We were still in.
Or is he getting AJ Brown the ball more?
Well, I mean, what not? Well, I mean, what? All right, look, you can say that too, but at the same time, he still has to deliver.
Right. He has to get the ball to him. Yes, yeah,
right.
Like
he says. Have to do the ball, but our defense is definitely our secondary. Our front, we are the number one rushing defense in the league. Jordan Davis, Carter, Sweat, Reddick, Fletcher Cox. He turned a whole new leaf this year. Even though BG is not getting sacks, but we have a rotation, to keep these guys healthy enough and fresh enough to be the number one rushing defense. But at the same time, Hurts. He don't build us out, man. I'm
Right.
promise you, if we did not have Hurts, I don't care about this goddamn defense. I'm telling you the truth right now. We would have been 4-4 or something like that because we would have lost a couple more games
Right.
without Hurts as our quarterback. I mean, he's playing better as a passer this year. I mean, this dude has thrown for 2,100 yards already. You know what I mean? 13 touchdowns through the air.
Well,
So
let me ask you that though. So, we talked about Shane Steichen, we talked about, the new offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. Do you think it's something I kind of predicted coming into this season, right? Jalen Hurts got the money, right? So he's one of the highest paid in the league. Saw the season that he had last year. Do you think that they're trying to make him more of a pocket passer and protect him for taking a lot of those hits on the ground? And that's why you're seeing more passing versus the typical RPO, style football that we saw last year, because you want to protect your investment. You know what I'm saying? I know they're talking about the knee thing, like different things like that. And last year he had the shoulder at the end of the year. So you think that's playing a part of some of the play calls? Like, listen, we got to protect Jalen. We really can't hang him out to dry like that anymore.
No, I think it's Brian Johnson, man. He's trying to, put himself out there. Like it's easy to say, hey, Shane, give me your goddamn playbook. Let's run the same plays, right? That we did last year. Like it succeeded. It worked. It worked all the way to the Super Bowl. Like I feel like that this year, Brian Johnson, he knew Hurts since he was little. Like there's some he's too emotionally attached to Jalen Hurts to say, hey, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to do this for you. Now he was like, oh, okay. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Of course, Hurts is going to say, hey, give me the ball. I want to throw the ball, this and that. But it's play calling.
Don't worry, you guys, about that, because that's what we went through with Dak Prescott, right? Because him and Kellen Moore were BFS, and there was just no accountability. It was just like
Dak was playing for a contract, though.
No.
Kellen Moore got Dak paid. We all know that.
But I'm saying, like, so Kellen Moore, so when Tony Romo got hurt, Kellen Moore was the backup quarterback. Yeah. He got hurt too, right? Yeah. So they've always been like this. And so that way it was like never any pushback with the play calling or anything, because Dak Prescott trusted his BFF and Kellen Moore. So that could be the case where it's like, okay, you have this trust with Johnson and also Hurts, where if Johnson's calling some BS, is Hurts going to push it off on it? Like, nah, we're not doing that. Or he's going to be like, no, I trust the play call and trust in the system. And, that can lead to issues.
Look, I definitely think it's play calling.
Play calling.
But you're right. Lane Johnson is out against the Jets. And you sat back and threw 45 times. Come on, man. You threw the ball 45 times. And your best offensive lineman besides Kelsey is out for the game. And you still drop back. We could have won that game.
Right.
The Eagles could have been like 9-0 right now going into this matchup. But we decided to do stupid play call. And Nick Sirianni is to blame too. You know what I mean? Like under 2 minutes, the Jets had no timeout. Let's go for it, fellas. Let's go for it. And you miss. Mm-hmm. And now you give, Zach Wilson. Imagine Zach Wilson going 80 yards under 2 minutes with no timeout to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I
can't relate. You know what I'm saying? We packed Zach Wilson up, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
We packed up Zach.
Common opponents, the Jets,
Rams.
The Rams, and who else?
Who's the other one?
The Jets, the Rams. Man, we played one more. Man, but y'all blew these teams out. But
y'all didn't play the Patriots yet, did y'all?
Huh?
You haven't played the Patriots, have y'all?
Yeah, the Patriots.
Okay, cool.
So the Rams, the Jets and the Patriots. Y'all blew these teams out. But the difference is this. All those three teams y'all blew out, y'all was at home in the dorm. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no bad weather.
Hey, listen, man.
And y'all eat Sunday dinners and stuff like that. And we're over here.
Leather seats, leather seats, plush leather, you know what I'm saying? But what I'll say is this, man. You see me on Twitter, man. AT&T Stadium ain't no home field advantage, man. It's quiet as a church there.
But the thing is this. All those teams that we played, I mean, home field advantage, like the loud, the crowd noise, just, they play a factor. Right. You saw against the Dolphins, right? The Kelly Greens was on. The crowd was. We ain't no way in hell. I was at the game. Ain't no way in hell we was gonna lose that game. Yo, I felt it. Like the parking lot, the tailgating. I mean, just walking to the stadium. You shut off all the lights, all the green lights. I mean, you know for a fact this team come ready to play.
Oh, I know y'all bring it. Y'all who performing Sunday, man? Y'all bringing out Beyonce, Drake.
I don't know, man.
I know y'all got a guest before, man.
Right now, a big hitter out, man. Heavy D about to come out.
Benny Siegel or something.
Who knows? I don't know, man.
You got Cassidy or somebody, man.
Hey, look, I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't know. But all those teams that we played, that y'all played, y'all always play them at home. So, and y'all had perfect weather, everything. Like, Bill Belichick had 6 months to prepare for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then, not only that, we played them in bad weather at that. Like, I mean, it's coming down. Like, our defense gave us 2, a pick sixes or whatever it was. I mean, but all those teams that y'all played, we played away. Y'all played at home. So right now, we don't really know. And when y'all played them, if y'all would have played them away, it would have been the same result. But a win is a win. Y'all dominated them. Like, y'all are, I told BG this. Y'all are the number 1 defense. How many pick sixes y'all got? I mean, shoot, like 3 by Blaine alone.
Yeah, Blaine got 3.
He got 3 by himself.
I think Trayvon had 1 or 2.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. So to me, in my eye right now, y'all are the number 1 defense in the league overall. Maybe not the number 1 rush defense, but overall, I mean, because y'all have dominated teams that we kind of had to fight, back and forth with. So this leads up to my next question. I mean, what is more sustainable? Man, I know this is a big conversation. What is more sustainable? Winning the way the Philadelphia Eagles are winning. Like, you up, you down, but you find a way to win. Or you blowing teams out, but if you don't blow teams out, you kind of lose the game. So so just what's more throughout a season?
I mean, it's a mixture of both, right? Because if you go to our Chargers game, that wasn't a blowout. Like, that was a back and forth matchup, right? So, we had to grind that out on the road and win that game on Monday Night Football. And, there was some opportunities that Justin Herbert just missed, but Keenan Allen came out and played well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it happens, right? So I feel like overall, the Cowboys have always kind of 40-balled a few teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we've done, especially in the Mike McCarthy era. So I'm not too concerned about it. I think we are perfectly fine to be able to win in any capacity, right? Because we're just finding different ways to win. I mean, if you go back to the Rams, right? You said that, hey, we had, Deron Bland with the pick 6, but then you also had Sam Williams with the punt block. So you had, CeeDee Lamb getting involved, and so we're winning in a multitude of different ways in all 3 phases. You had the big return from Kevontae Turpin, so it's like, I think the Cowboys are equipped to play these dirty, gritty games. We just haven't been in them as of yet. So I'm not too concerned about it. I just think with the 49ers game, I'm tossing it out because they put way too much on it. And I was saying it because all week, bro, it's just like, even when we played the Jets, like they asked CeeDee Lamb about, it's like, oh, well, we'll see who we really are week 5. Like, you're already thinking about San Fran. So they put too much, emphasis on it, bro. And it's just like, I was trying to tell everybody, like, listen, man, let's not make this game as bigger than what it needs to be. So just from the Cowboys standpoint, like, their coaching philosophy was off. Like, everything was off, because sometimes when you want things so bad, you get outside of yourself. I mean, you guys are probably going to do that here in 2 weeks, right? When you come to Kansas City, it's like, you want to prove yourself. You want, you worked out all off season for losing that Super Bowl, and Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, just like it's another, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what really happened versus San Fran. So I don't predict the Cowboys will come in that same mindset. They know it's a big game. They know it's a divisional game, but it's just not that type of game. That's what I'm trying to explain to a lot of Cowboys fans and Eagles fans. Like, besides the division, of course, but it's still early in the season. Like, there's really nothing to gain from it, because if we come out and beat y'all and we mess around and lose next week to the Giants and slip again, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's still a lot of football to be played. Now, I think the game in December, that's going to be like, okay, the playoff matches are shaping up, the division's really shaping up, it's going to count. If you go into the tie, what I'm saying? Like, I think that game's going to be more important. So you can't put your all in this game, because if we put our all in this game, win this game, and lose the next 2 or 3, it's not going to matter. See what I'm saying?
See, I think that you kind of like underplaying it a little bit.
No,
your owner is like saying, "Hey, yo, I don't want to talk. Yo, I don't want to poke the bear." You know what I mean? And Dak Prescott is talking about, "Hey, I want all that smoke and all this stuff." But I think that if the Philadelphia Eagles win on Sunday,
right,
they are 8-1, right? But
right.
you hoping because of a Kansas City Chiefs coming up, the Bills coming up,
that buzzsaw.
We're in there that we slip. But I guarantee you, if they told you, hey, the Eagles was going to be 8-1, and it was going to be undefeated until they play y'all, there's no way y'all had a chance of winning the division. So you hoping that we slip somewhere in there before we get to y'all in December. So now it's like, okay, hey, this is for the division.
Right.
If you don't slip, there's no way that y'all can win the division.
Right, but it's the same thing with us, right? If we win on Sunday, right, and we run through everything, and you guys slip next 2 or 3 games, like it's the same situation. Like, so what I'm trying to say, there's a lot of football to be played, right? So you got to take it 1 week at a time. So it's like it's not going to be the end all be all, season's over, right? Because things change. I mean, you remember last year for you guys? I mean, if the Cowboys didn't screw up those 2 games versus the Jags and versus with the Packers, and then Jalen Hurts does get nicked up for a little bit, that changes the course of things. So I'm trying to tell, so I think that's the importance when it comes to Cowboys fans and Eagles fans too. Don't get too high or too low. Like, there's a lot of football to be played. And I know some Cowboys fans, man, they jumped out the whip versus Arizona. You know what I'm saying? They've been going, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's a lot of football to be played, and we don't know. I feel like in December, when we come back and do the show, all right, we'll know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll know about our red zone offense. Like, listen, bro, we've been trashed for weeks. Like, just give it up. We ain't gonna talk about it. You'll know in December. Listen, bro, we ain't running the ball with Swift. Just get over. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know who you are. But right now, like, I don't know. I don't know if our red zone offense is trash or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel.
Yeah, just like my guy Steve said, just control what's in front of you. And I think that's what happens with Cowboys and Cowboys fans. They start thinking down the road. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if we win this game, then the Eagles will lose this game. And then, like, bro, nah, that ain't how it is, because we always trip over our feet and doing something goofy and have a loss versus the Cardinals or blow a lead versus the Jaguars. Like, listen, focus on the game at hand. Right now, we're focusing on Philly, and we'll go out there and handle business. But if we do fall short, it's not the end of the season. If we do win the game, it ain't that, we need to go start planning for another parade out there in Arlington. So it's just like 1 week at a time.
Yeah, and I agree, because after we lost to the Jets, a lot of y'all Cowboy fans was posting up the Eagles schedule. You're like, oh my God, hey, look, y'all might not win another game. And y'all had Miami, and the Commanders was 3-3, 500, and then we got the Seahawks in there. I mean, did you think that the Eagles was going to beat the Dolphins?
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to beat the Dolphins. Well, yeah, going into the game, yes. Before the season started, no, because I felt like they were going to be healthy. I know Jalen Ramsey is going to be out, and Howard and Devon A-Chain. So I feel like if they were healthy, it probably would have been a different matchup. But when I looked at your schedule and we did the preseason, I was just like, damn, the Eagles got an easy road, but then it gets bumpy. So you got to come out the gate. Like, you can't get off to a slow start, with their team. Cause like, I'm saying, like, New England, Commanders left hand up. It's a cute song. I like the song, you know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't like, man, the Eagles got some killers out the gate versus us. We had killers out the gate. We got lucky, even though it was the Giants, but with the Jets game, that was a game I was just like,
Aaron Rodgers, though, because you thought that Aaron Rodgers would be healthy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So when I looked at it on schedule, and that's why there were so many Cowboys fans, and it's one of the hottest tickets of the season, because it was going to be Aaron Rodgers, and we know Aaron Rodgers is our boogeyman. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm kind of nervous a little bit. Then you had the Kellen Moore Bowl, and then you had, you know what I'm saying? So you had some of those games. When we looked at Philly's schedule, it's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? It's not too many bangers. You got Miami, but then it's like, okay, they got hurt a little bit.
The Vikings here, but nobody trusts the Vikings.
Yeah. So it's like, but like now it's like, okay, because it's boom, it's Kansas City, it's Dallas, it's the Buffalo. Like it tightens up a little bit, right? So for both of us, it's about to get real. Like, and that's the good thing about this season. Nobody in the NFC is going to be able to kind of just fake their way into the playoffs. Like, you're going to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So if we get through the season and damn, we got dog walked by Philly, we got dog walked by the Lions, and the Seahawks punched our lights out, but we kind of back into the playoffs, well, then hey man, y'all not ready. You know what I'm saying? You're not ready. Like I feel like in the past few years, we're kind of just able to kind of just back in, you know what I'm saying, kind of get in there and kind of hope for the best. But like, no, we will know you will be playoff ready and playoff prepared after this season. The Eagles will, Lions will, like all of us will, because we got that gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't baseball, man. This ain't no two wildcard teams going into baseball.
Well, I will say this, right?
Then Rangers winning, you know what I mean?
Now, somebody posted it online the other day, and it's just like, looking at the current playoff matchups, and I was like, man, that fifth spot looks sweet. Because it looked hella sweet. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, we could get a wild card game versus Atlanta and then play the winner of the Saints, or it was a Vikings versus Detroit. Yeah. And then you guys have to play, the 49ers in the first or second round divisionals. Like, kind of like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know why? But now you got momentum compared to a whole week off. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on, man.
Right.
Like I'm almost like, you know what? I wouldn't mind.
You get a whole week off, and then San Fran gets to kind of get momentum and built up, and you know what I'm saying. But that's far down the line.
That's way down the road. But hey,
December show, you might start plotting like, man, y'all got this one. Go ahead and take this one. Man. Go ahead and get the division, man. Y'all got it.
Yeah, but now look, I'm just shoot like, okay, yes, we have this gauntlet coming up, but how big of a gauntlet is it? I mean, Kansas City just lost to Denver Broncos, right? One of the worst teams in the league. The Bills can't win a game now. Like all of a sudden, like the Giants should have beat them a couple weeks ago. Right now, and they're looking like really, really sweet. So I feel like right now, like if you beat the Bills, like then look, man, hey, the Bills almost lost to the Giants. The Bills lost last week. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be a reason why you're not good enough or you're not battle tested. Because now these teams are starting to show their weakness. Like they're starting to lose. Like right now, there's no dominant team in the NFL. There's no dominant team in the NFL.
Facts.
Like every team is like
welcome to our life, man. Welcome to life as a Cowboys fan. Like we get credit for no wins. We get credit for 0 wins. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loved the Rams high flying offense, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and everybody loved them. Cowboys blow them out. I mean, it's just Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? So even if we win, it'll be like, okay, well, Eagles and Cowboys are still tied. Let's see what they do in December. Let's see what they do in the playoffs when they're really, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, welcome, man. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, get no credit for all of the wins you get. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone wants to laugh at your losses. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, all right. And so now let's get into this matchup right here. You got AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb. They've both been playing out of their minds. Like literally, I think they are like the top 5 in the league. Like they both are top 5. You have AJ Brown number 2 with 939. And he might go over at 1K. You know what I mean? With 9 games in, and then you got Lamb with 633 with 3 tubs. I mean, so who has to have a bigger game for their team to win? Is it AJ or CeeDee?
I think CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb has to have a bigger game because our other wide receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb really hasn't showed improved. Even though Brandon Cooks got in the end zone a few times, Michael Gallup was our So, but Michael Gallup, who's pretty much our ex-wide receiver, he just hasn't been in sync all year. There's something off, and Cowboys fans are ready to, tie him up and toss him to the curb. But he really hasn't showed improve. And so I feel like when it comes to CeeDee Lamb, everything stems off of him. If you got to get him involved early and often, I feel like if AJ Brown doesn't get involved, I know they definitely will, you still have Smitty, you still have Goddard, you know what I'm saying? You just got Julio Jones. Like you have some guys that can go out there and kind of showcase their talents and get things moving if AJ was to have an off night. But I feel like if CeeDee Lamb has an off night, yeah, it's just, it's going to be one of those days. You know what I'm saying? So CeeDee Lamb by far, because the offense leans and goes through CeeDee Lamb. And it took them a while to actually figure that out. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you get your number 1 wide receiver the ball, good things can happen, but it took them a minute to finally figure that out. So I would definitely say CeeDee Lamb at this point.
So also that means that Dak Prescott have to have a bigger night than Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts right now has gone for over 2,000 yards with a 67.7 QBR with 13 touchdowns. And Dak Prescott has thrown for 1,600 yards with 10 touchdowns with 67.4 QBR. So basically, this game is going to be on Dak Prescott shoulders to win or lose. It's not going to be on your running game, Mike McCarthy. So you putting all the pressure on Dak, and now y'all wondering why, the media is all on Dak or not. I'll be watching y'all, man. You're like, oh my God, it's always Dak Prescott. But even y'all put pressure on Dak Prescott.
That's not why we go at them. The reason why we go at them is because they grade Dak Prescott differently than they do other quarterbacks. And even Joy Taylor, salute to Joy Taylor. Hi, Joy. She came out and said, hey, Joy. She came out and said today, like, she does it differently because it's Dallas Cowboys and it's America's team, right? Because it's like, we've seen 3 interception games from Josh Allen. We've seen 3 interception games from, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, okay, we'll give him a pass. You know what I'm saying? But if Dak throws 1 or 2, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? The sky is falling. And what we were trying to explain last year, if you look at Dak Prescott's history, he's not a high turnover guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's difference between showing consistency. Josh Allen, consistency, 24 games, 22 interceptions. That's consistency, right? Dak Prescott's last year, that was the first time we seen something like that, but people leave out the full picture. You move Amari Cooper on for a bag of chips. You had Michael Gallup coming out for ACL injury halfway through the season. You try to go out there with Dennis Houston, who's on a practice squad, I think now in Washington. You went to Noah Brown, who I don't even think is playing out there in Houston. Like, you went out there and tossed him around with a bunch of nobodies who was bouncing the ball off their chest. Like, how was that on Dak Prescott? You know what I'm saying? But since he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, it got heightened. It got heightened where he has a turnover problem. And that's what we're trying to say. It's not the case. These quarterbacks who you call elite, like, they don't just say Josh Allen's a quarterback. Like, they compare Josh Allen to Pat Mahomes. Like, if you ask a lot of people, Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen, they're going to put Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts. Like, hell, there's a bunch of Bills fans right now tagging me on Instagram because they got a PFF rating of Josh Allen. Like, yeah, Tuck, shut. I'm like, bro, no. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference. So that's what Cowboys fans are fighting against. It's like, listen, grade them all the same. If Jalen Hurts has a bad game, you talk about Jalen Hurts the same way you talk about Dak Prescott. You know, like that's where we're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but also, man, like, the commercials out there. Man, don't no player like get more commercials than the Dallas Cowboy player, man.
But what does that to do? But what does that have to do? That's like saying, I mean, it's like saying I'm gonna treat you different because you get all the girls. Like, let's say
LeBron James. Like, LeBron James, right? Yo, he was that dude since he came in the league, but he was always getting compared to MJ. So he had to go chase the ring, right? But he would never, in some people's eyes, he would never, including my eyes, he would never, be better than MJ. You know what I mean? It is just a fact. I don't care what you do. So the thing is, Dak Prescott, unless he win a championship, it don't matter what he does, he will never be like, oh, we love Dak. He'll always be criticized, period.
But shouldn't that be the same for any quarterback? Like,
well, I mean, because he's been in the league longer than those guys that they are comparing him to. But like, Dak Prescott had talent. Like, a couple years ago, 1,000 yards. I mean, y'all had a top 3 offense, a great defense. And what happened? The 49ers came into y'all house and took y'all out. Why? I mean, so
I explained to people why. It was because of Kellen Moore. Because that offense that year that was explosive was a lot of fool's gold. Because what they were doing, they were putting up points on bad teams. Y'all remember that game? Because y'all always bring it up, right? That game where we play against y'all 4-string. And I remember, if you go back to that year, I was telling everybody this on Twitter, and everyone got mad at me. But remember what happened that year? We lost to the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. And I was like, listen, y'all, our offense is a problem. It needs to be fixed, right? And then we come out and then we played y'all and we cleaned it all up. We put up 40 points and everyone was like, oh, it's fine. Say, you know what I'm saying? Say, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. We put up 40. I'm like, that's the fool's goal. So when we're going to San Francisco, I was like, listen, y'all,
Not San Fran came to y'all.
Yeah. When San Francisco came to us at home, I was just like, this offense ain't clicking like it should be. It's not right. It's not right. Chuck you up. I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Our offense was not right. You know what I'm saying? So that's just part of it. But it's like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, bro. But it's just like
penalties too, though, man. Like,
yeah, and penalties and a lot of stupid things we do.
Like,
you know
it's either offense or penalties. Man, I think it's a combination, man.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's a lot of it. It's coaching. It's a lot, and a lot goes into winning an NFL championship. That's what people don't understand. Like, think how things would have went differently for you guys if you didn't have the Hurts fumble, or Pat Mahomes didn't miraculously come back from the hurt leg. You know what I'm saying? Like
that tug, that Bradbury PI,
or the Kadarius Tony return. Like, those little things add up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but to sit there and say, hey, the Eagles lost the Super Bowl because of Jalen Hurts, that's false. It was special teams. It was defense. They let the team down. But people, you know what I'm saying? Like, they tag it to the quarterback. So going back to your LeBron thing, is like, I understand LeBron gets a lot of the criticism, but also I do see someone like Kevin Durant getting shot up too, just like LeBron does, in a different manner, different tone.
But he'll never catch up like LeBron.
He'll never catch up. But I've seen people measure Kevin Durant the same way they measure LeBron. Like, he's soft, you know what I'm saying? He went to, you know what I'm saying? He's a ring chase, like all these types of things, right? But it's like, but who's the other quarterback that gets called soft like Dak Prescott, or get called trash or ass on TV? Or, you know, Dak was called soft because he was mourning the death of his brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things. Like, why is it personal attacks about Dak Prescott and it's cool, but y'all don't do that about anybody else? That's what we're trying to understand. Critique him all he wants. If he comes out Sunday and throws 7 interceptions, Joy Taylor's not going to have to say nothing, because I'm a beater to it. You know what I'm saying? Versus the 49ers, I went on my live and said, listen, they quit. The whole team kind of quit. They folded, right? So criticize when it's warranted, but don't just make up something just because it's the star and the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
For owner, man. It starts with your owner.
Like, well, criticize him. Criticize him. Do a whole segment.
No.
Do a whole segment on Jerry Jones.
You're last. Yo, this dude is a billionaire 10 times over. So, like, he don't care. Man, he gonna come out. Yeah, I mean,
multi-billionaire.
You know, I mean, yeah, we should play better, but I'm disappointed in our coaches and our players. You know, he gonna say that, but guess what? He's still a freaking millionaire, like 10 times over.
Ringling Brothers, man.
But he talks so much. He puts y'all out there, like, in front page, front news, that people don't see behind that. Like, shoot, what's on the second page? We don't know, because the Cowboys are on the front page.
Here's the thing when it comes to Jerry Jones.
Their fault when your owner keep them in front page.
Well, here's the thing. Like, when it comes to Jerry Jones, because I met him a few times, and everybody has a feeling. Everyone has that just slick talking uncle, and he can come on TV, but hey, nephew, what's going on, man? Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Let me $10. You know what I'm saying? But he's just so cool. You don't even know you giving him the money. Like, that's Jerry Jones. Like, Jerry Jones has the gift of gab. Like, if everything's burning in Dallas, you can watch a Jerry Jones interview and feel like everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember during the whole pandemic, you know, the Cowboys had fans at the stadium. Jerry Jones was on TV talking about all the airflow that goes through the stadium and how everything. And I started believing him. Like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You know, he's gonna open up the doors, open up the windows, the air's gonna flow in. No, bro. He's cooking you. You know what I'm saying? He's charming you. He's winking at you. He's selling you on this idea that COVID can't flow through the air. It's an airborne. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just the gift of Jerry Jones. And it's like, it's hard for some fans to be mad at him because they know he's not being aggressive. They know he's not doing what it takes to build a championship team, but he'll get on the camera, charm you, buy, you know, the media wine, their favorite wine, and, you know, whiskeys, and walk out of there. You know,
you get all about what you was talking about.
Yeah. What we talking about? Like, what questions? I got no further questions, Jerry. Thank you for the whiskey, man.
Bro, I went in for oil change one day. I walked out with a brand new car.
Yeah,
like, literally, oil change. But they talked me into like trading my damn car.
Yeah.
Like, it's a true story. I walked in there to get an oil change. And was like, hey, have you ever thought about, you know, upgrading your car? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You sure? Look at this. Next thing I know, I'm over here.
You got time to wait. You got time to wait, man. Let's come do a little quick test drive. You know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you sit down in those leather seats. You know what I'm saying? You get your food delivered at the game. Like, this is nice. You know what I'm saying? You forget about all the issues and all the drama he's been putting you through. So
So you can't blame the media. We came back and we went full circle. You got to blame Jerry. You can't blame the media, man.
I mean,
I'm
they get
sorry.
they
You
get
can't have
paid
to
off
take
of it
it
too.
into. You can't want to be the most talked about franchise, but then don't want to be the most criticized franchise. You
Well,
just
well, well, they actually posted, and salute to my guy Emmanuel Acho. He posted it, right. Speak for Yourself had their highest viewed month, like out of all the because they're talking about the cow. You know what I'm saying? It's because of the Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest. Like, and if you want to talk about the Cowboys, speak for yourself. Go come get holler at your boy, man. I can show y'all how to cook this thing up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but salute to
all
them,
right.
man.
All right. So Cowboys offense versus Eagles offense. Who have the edge going into this matchup?
I feel like the Eagles offense has the edge due to the offensive line and due to the running game. So I would lean towards the Eagles because I feel like even if healthy, our offensive line hasn't been playing well, and your guys has had. Even though you probably can go with Steen or whoever at the right guard spot. It's like your offensive line has played a lot better than our offensive line. So I would give you guys the edge offensively.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree. Only if we go back to the running game. Like I feel like in order to
abandon it.
Man, we have been in no. Swift is healthy right now, man. Look, I'm gonna knock on wood wherever I can find wood. But the thing is, the Lions let him go because he was injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Into Philadelphia Eagles, God bless, and he's been healthy so far, having a great season so far. I feel like we need to feed him some more. I mean, he's explosive, he's shifty. I mean, this dude is fearless. So I feel like if we could get him, and you're talking about Jalen Hurts around the edge, we could set up, him to go around the edge. He got that speed
right
to go off the edge and hit a home run. You know what I mean? Like to me, I think he's better than Shady, kind of a little bit, because of his quickness. Like Shady, he had the ball out here. Like I'm like, every time Shady runs, I'm like, oh, check the ball in, please.
Allen Iverson.
Always out there, he's like jumping everybody. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
But Swift, like he's more control when he runs, and then he can snap your knees left and right. So I feel like that if we run the ball, we have the edge. If we don't, y'all have the edge because of what we about to talk about, because of Cowboys defense versus Eagles defense. Who have the edge on that?
Yeah, I feel like the Cowboys definitely have the edge with the defense. So, but it really depends on, like you said, the type of game we playing. Now, maybe we come out and say, you know what, we ain't gonna throw the ball. We're gonna try to run with Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying? Like, then it kind of works in your favor, but I don't see that being the case. But I feel like defensively, the Cowboys have the edge because we have the defensive line. Even though we have some injuries at the linebacker position, Marquise Bell is playing outstanding, kind of our hybrid linebacker. And then also our corners in our safety room is a lot better than Philadelphia. So, yeah, defensively, I would say that we have the edge. And also we got Dan Quinn, too, as one of the defensive masterminds. So,
yeah, I mean, look, I totally agree that you have the edge on defense, especially underneath, right? Our defense been getting smoked. Look, I'm not going to sit here and bash any of the players. I'm going to say, look, continuity is everything. Like, this is only the second time all season having the same defensive players to play. I mean, we'll see how it adds up. You know what I mean? Like, getting Byard was huge, right? Like, hit that Prescott a few times. We both know that, on that Monday night stage, that means y'all went and got Cooper. You know what I mean? Y'all like, we need help, Cooper. Where you at? Because the Titans and Byers, so yeah, against last year with Josh Dobbs, that quarterback, Byers got y'all again on a Thursday night. So he kind of like owned Dak Prescott Byers, you know what I mean? But at the same time, picking him up was huge. And I'm hoping that Eli Ricks plays more, maybe in the slot. You know what I mean? He's lengthy enough. Do not put Bradbury in the slot. I'm sorry. But
just pay that money, man. Put Bradbury in that slot, man.
I want him on the outside. I want him on the outside because I feel like if you play the nickel, that you could always get more help. Like the linebackers underneath, the safety over top. Somebody it's very, very crowded in there. But if you out there on an island by yourself, we saw Josh Jobe get cooked when we try to put Bradbury in the slot and Jobe on the outside against the Bucks. Mike Evans ate him up like Sunday dinner, like straight up. So I feel like that Bradbury needs to mind his business out there. Slade needs to mind his business out there and put Eli Ricks in the nickel and then have help all around him like a blanket. You know what I mean? Just play him like you play a tight end, right? I mean, you would never go one-on-one with the tight end. You know, like we play Maddox was one of the best slot corners, man. Damn, always hurt. Every year we literally prepared not to play with Maddox. Literally. So, but he played tight ends very well because he always have help over the top or underneath. So he could be more aggressive. So I feel like you could get more help. So I need Ricks in the slot, and then everybody else just play your position. Reed Blankenship, he's playing pretty good right now. With Byard, like I said, his second game, so he might be a little bit more comfortable. But I'll tell you this right now. If we come out this week healthy on defense and then go into the bye, we're going to start rolling on defense because I feel like now the continuity is going to slowly get there. A desire might be, okay, hey, we like to do this. Now let's start doing it some more because we got a tough stretch coming up after the bye. So I feel like if we could get out this game healthy with the win, or maybe even with the loss, but I'm not going to put that in the air. Come back down. You know what I mean? So I feel like still, will be good if everybody come out healthy. So, but I do give y'all defense the edge. But your defensive line, though, man, they could be getting a guy, especially off the edge, man. I watch y'all games, man. Unfortunately, y'all always on goddamn prime time. So I have a lot of, it's like, hey, I got some slow edges. Micah Parson, if you run at him, he start getting frustrated on sideline. He's huffing and puffing. He's not motivated no more. Like against the Chargers, the whole game, he was not effective. And then that one time,
we need him. Bang, bang.
That one snap, Gilmore, that one interception turned the whole game around, and that was it. But the Philadelphia Eagles been good at, kind of containing Micah Parsons. He haven't been a game wrecker since we've been, playing y'all. So, yeah, I get the edge to the Cowboys if y'all could contain the run.
There you go. Should be one.
All right. So game changers. Give me 2 game changers for this matchup on the Cowboys.
I would say if the Cowboys going to win this game, then you're going to need a big game from Dak Prescott, and you're going to need a big game from Stephon Gilmore because he'll probably be the matchup versus A.J. Brown.
Oof. Gilmore versus A.J. Brown. I see a lot of flags coming because Gilmore is aggressive. Like he's
Gilmore played solid versus y'all last year, A.J. Brown. That was last year, though. But
that was 1 year. I mean, hey, look, I ran a marathon last year. I can't run it this year. Come on, man. A year is a long time. But, so y'all going to have Bland on Smitty?
Yeah, probably Bland on Smitty.
Look, I'll take that matchup all day. I mean, if I'm the opposite, I'll put Bland on A.J. Brown.
No, I just don't think Bland's physical enough to handle AJ.
But that's the reason why. You know why? Because now offensive pass interference on AJ. Look, I'm just trying to think, because
because
if Gilmore is on Smitty,
that's too dicey, man. So I think Gilmore, but of course you're gonna have those matchups because you're gonna move AJ around a little bit.
Absolutely. A little
bit, but I think for the most part you'll see Gilmore on Smitty, or Gilmore on AJ Brown and Bland on Smitty.
Yeah, I think this is a Smitty game, like no lies. So my game changer for this game is Devontae Smith, because we all know that all eyes on AJ Brown, he broke the record, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So of course you're going to feed off of that. But
does the record continue?
I don't want it to.
The streak continue.
Look, I want Smitty to start eating, but I think it's going to be.
I do selfishly for fantasy football purposes, but you know what I'm saying.
I need Goddard and Smitty, and of course DeAndre Swift. We need to run the ball. Those are my 3 game changers. Even if Hurts don't run a lick, but you have to at least hand your ball off because you have them dogs up front, to push the, on the power forward. And the brotherly shove, man. Yes, we fumbled last week, but Kelsey came and said, hey, look, is my fault. But the brother shoved. Look, I heard you talk. How do you stop it? Don't let them get too short.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Because if you look at the Eagles, third down conversion and fourth down conversions, they're top in the NFL, and it's because of that whole thing. So, yeah, you got to keep them in third and long, fourth and longs, because if not, they're definitely going to do it. If you can probably keep them on their side of the field, you could probably get away with it. But it's coming. It's going to come often, and it's more of an attitude and mindset that they have. So, it's coming. So the way that you do is like on second down, you make sure you keep them at a distance. So.
Yeah, facts. I mean, I agree, man. Look, we're about to wrap this up, man. Give me your 3 keys to victory, man. If the Dallas Cowboys would walk out Lincoln Financial that night, tough crowd. Well, that evening, it's going to turn tonight, but still, American Game of the Week on Fox. So if they would come out victorious, what do they have to do? 3 keys.
Yeah, the offensive line has to protect Dak Prescott. That's number one. Dak Prescott has to continue to play his game, continue to thrive in and playing what he's been doing. And then defensively, you have to rush with integrity and not give Jalen Hurts the big opportunity to get upfield. Because if you don't play your run assignments or your pass rush assignments and you allow those open gaps, he'll take off and get 20-yard games, 25-yard games. So I think if you can keep Jalen in the pocket, keep him contained, make him throw in the tight windows, protect Dak, and Dak just be who we know who he is, I think that's how you get out there with the victory on Sunday.
Yeah, and I feel like, hey, for the Philadelphia Eagles, man, you have to run the ball. I mean, you have to put Swift involved often, because I don't have a lot of confidence in the middle of our secondary, of our defense. I'm just being honest. I don't until you show me, I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen enough this season that's saying that our middle is the worst in the league. They're always open. So if you could stop that, like, change the defense a little bit. Like, put 5 corners out there. I don't know, because I don't think that Dallas is going to run on us like that. But they're sure going to pass on us. So why not play some safeties and some corners out there, put speed on there? Like, man, just do something.
Right.
But I really feel like that we need to run the ball. We need to use our other playmakers, man. Leave AJ Brown alone. Because that's going to be the focus. Man. I think that Smitty is going to be one-on-one coverage. Yo, I take Smitty all day, man. I mean, should you do film? Yo, his footwork is nasty.
He's one of the cleanest route runners in the NFL.
He's never really covered. Right. He's never really covered. So, I mean, his foot, yes, he might be light, but, man, his footwork is nasty. And then he learned from A.J. Smith this offseason, right? He was like, hey, how do you get, they both was learning off each other. A.J. was like, look, I learned how to run cleaner routes by Smitty. And Smitty would say, hey, I learned how to be more physical by A.J. So, you know what I mean? So he's going to do his thing. So use Goddard, use Smitty, just use your other playmakers, but don't focus on A.J. because that's how interceptions happen, because the team knows that we're going to try to force feed them. And 2, turnovers. You have to play a clean game, man. The Dallas Cowboys, they feed off turnovers. Once they start getting 1 and 2, it starts snowballing and you're out of the game. So you have to control. You have to keep the turnovers under control. Nick Sirianni even said it today. You have to, whoever had the least amount of turnovers will win this game.
And also penalties, because you guys are one of the least penalized teams in the NFL as well. And we're up there.
One of the tops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go, man. Score prediction. You know what? Let me go first to ease your mind.
Let you go first. All right,
so I feel like that this game is going to be a very close game. Yes, on paper, by stats, if you're looking at the Cowboys this season, if you're looking at Philly, it should be a blowout on either side. But I'm saying that this game is going to be a 27-23 type game. It's going to be close. It might come down to Dak Prescott, the final drive, a sack fumble, something with Hassan Reddick. This dude been a monster. In the fourth quarter, the last 3-4 minutes, he comes up with big sacks, big turnovers. So I feel like it's going to be a 27-23 type game, but Dak Prescott is going to have a chance to march down there and win the game for y'all, and he's not going to happen.
Dak failed in the fourth quarter with the ball in his hands.
Ball in his hand.
Nah, man. All right. So, I mean, for Sunday, man, all I gotta say is, yeah, Cowboys Nation, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Hey, this is a game that means so much to y'all, man. It means so much to y'all. You know, it means so much. I saw your little hype videos y'all been dropping, man, rapping on boats and yachts and all sorts of stuff, man. And honestly, I was gonna give y'all this game. I was gonna give it to y'all, but since it means a lot to you, you know I gotta take it. You know I gotta take it, man. So I got the Cowboys.
At the link.
I gotta take it. I gotta take it. What kind of uniforms y'all wearing? Y'all wearing y'all all blacks? You're wearing your Kelly?
We might wear all black, man. We might wear all black. It might be
I think got something special for this game. You know, got your clothes laid out the night before and everything for your uniform. And Dallas comes to town, man. So I got the Cowboys winning 34-31. Close game, back and forth offensive matchup, but obviously Dak Prescott gets the ball in the final drive, puts us in field goal range, and Brandon Aubrey seals the victory, and we get up with the win.
Damn. Okay. Look, I like it. And you know what? Yo, I'm visioning. I'm like, I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? Only because the middle, dink and dunk all the way down to get into field goal range. And that's why I'm like, come on. I need Sean Desire to man up, do something different. Like last week, Sam Howell. For some odd reason, we like the Commanders got our number, man. But we always end up winning. But still, they got our number. But I don't need that to happen to y'all, man. I feel like Hassan Reddick, fourth quarter king, sack king, is gonna come up big, man.
Yeah.
But any last word, man, before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, man, my guy JC, man, appreciate you, man. It's always a blast rocking with you. You know, you're one of my favorites to do this, man. You just got a bad team that you cover, man. But I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the Cowboys fans on my side. Appreciate all the Eagles fans. For those of you who want to follow me on social media, all social media platforms at JTuck151. My YouTube channel, CFO Sports. Comment, like, subscribe. Even though you're Eagles fan, we do a lot of content, especially during draft season. So, you know, we do a lot of draft coverage. Also, salute to my guy, Des Bryant. I just linked up with Des Bryant. So we're High Point Fantasy Football. So I'm doing a lot of coverage. We got some shows. We just had DeAndre Hopkins 2 days ago, Tyreek Hill. This goes on and on, man. So we're going to have some Eagles people on. So, you know, let's come over, support the content, not just, you know, Cowboys content crazy, Eagles content crazy, all of us, man, because there's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of work we do. And it's trying to bring, you know, more awareness to the community and more football talk to the community. And we appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, Eagle fans, man, imagine he's all dressed in green and black, midnight green, man. Don't worry about the blue, man, because this is Halloween season. So he's dressed up as a cowboy content creator. But trust me, man, hey, he's a cool dude, man. So I appreciate all y'all for tuning in, man. And Sunday, man, I will be doing the play-by-play for the Cowboys game. I can't hide. Win or lose, I'm going to be right here doing the play-by-play. So if y'all want to come troll me, have fun with me, hey, look, just subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and hit that notification.
You're a better man than me. That's the one thing I cannot do. I cannot live stream during games. I hate it with the passion. I tried it one time and said never again, man. So I had to offer all of y'all that can do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of crow.
Yeah.
Especially that Monday Night Massacre.
Yeah.
First started that Monday Night Massacre that y'all retired Emmitt Smith. I mean, whatever y'all did. We got our backs blown out. Cowboy fans start popping in the chat. Look at you now. I'm like, hey, I don't play for the Eagles. Yo, I'm just saying.
Right.
But,
right.
All right, bro. Hey, as always, man, go Birds, man.